Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order for the Adams Parks Commission at 5 p.m. First order of business, I have to read the virtual meeting statement. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15th and July 2nd, 2020 orders imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Town of Adams Parks Commission is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort has been made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. Attending remotely are members, I don't know, is Jacob Schutz, are you on?
Yeah.
He's not on, okay. And we have members attending from the town. We have James Fassel. We've got Kayla Ferry and Scott Tomac and myself, Paul Nowicki. We have posted today's agenda in accordance with open meeting law, which included the call-in information for the meeting. Despite our best efforts, if we are not able to provide for real-time access for the public to participate in today's meeting, a recording of this meeting can be made available by request, as this meeting is being recorded using the Zoom platform. As we are participating remotely, please note that all votes taken during this meeting will be by a roll call vote. I will state the member's name and ask for their vote for each vote necessary today. Okay, first order of business. We have Parks Commission appointed members and organization. I believe, did we do that last meeting? Michelle?
We did, and I'm not sure why it was put back on. Did we have a more conversation about it?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we're all set.
We might have just duplicated it.
It could be, and because Jake wasn't here, I don't even know if he knows that he's chair, vice chair, I should say.
Vice chair.
So, vice chair, so he's still not here, so.
Okay, maybe that's why you put it
I
on.
don't think there was a vice chair, Michelle, is it?
But there was conversation, I thought, before that.
Pretty
you
sure we
said-
did.
You talked about Jake being vice chair, so I don't know if that is a true thing or how that works.
I know.
But I know in the minutes, we talked about Paul, you being the chair.
Yeah, I have that down.
And then,
Okay, what was this?
or maybe it was a joke from last time.
I don't have anything. You have anything in your notes, Michelle, regarding that?
The meeting minutes have.
No, let's just go on.
Yeah.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, approval of the minutes, which you have in front of you, from the last meeting on June 14th.
Have we all looked at the minutes, or do you need some time to? All right. We can move it.
Your motion to accept the minutes?
I make a motion, we move the minutes.
Okay, Sharon makes a motion. A second. Okay, second, okay. All in favor? Hi, everybody, it's unanimous. Minutes are accepted. Old business, discussion on use of bathroom and concession facilities at the fields. Mr. Strachey was to advise, but I believe he's out of town. So we don't have anyone.
He is out of town, but he did leave me some notes to.
Okay.
To discuss. What did I do with that? I gave you a copy, okay, there. So, discussion on use of bathroom and concession facilities. I had asked him, how are things going with it? Any issues cropping up? And he said, everything seems to be okay. Just please maintain cleanliness as COVID protocol guidelines to maintain good health measures. So that was the statement about that.
Okay,
That becomes an issue when going down the line, so it's always good to bring it forward,
okay.
and then just check it on.
Okay, second item under old business. General discussion on the topic of youth football league at Russell Field. update on walkthrough at field with Mike Mucci. Tim Coda would like to be part of the walkthrough. Again, Steve Scrocky to advise.
So his comments were, he's out this week, he's on vacation. He plans to be back on the week of the 19th, and he'll contact Mr. Mucci about setting up a time.
Okay.
Perfect. I make a motion, we move that to the next meeting.
A second on that. Do we need a second? Do we need
I
to,
think so.
anyone?
A second.
Okay, Kim, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, put down the whole business for next meeting.
Yeah, we can't react to,
Till it happens.
what happens until Mucci is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and the last item on the old business, continued discussion regarding Russell Field. I remember we discussed that last meeting, plan to have only one new scoreboard at Russell Field.
So again, Mr. Scrocky had some input to say. He said that the contractor advises to stay off the field until spring to establish the grass more so. And he said that we can use the back part of the field on the west side of the tennis court once Russell Field is given clearance to open. And Scrocky said he's still working on getting use of the Cheshire School Field. Because he believes that there's working lights there.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, under new business, first item. Town facilities request form for Renfrew Field from Jared Martin, Tunnel City Baseball, requesting Friday, July 16th, 2021, from 5:30 to 9:30. Jared Martin already cleared it with Quinn Gladue from the Berkshire Youth Baseball, as she had previously reserved from the spring request. Quinn stated she does not need the field for that night. So we have a request in front of us from Jared Martin for use of Renfrew Field.
Is Jared Martin here tonight?
No,
No,
And it's requested for the 16th of
July.
16th July, which is Friday. How does that look, Mr. Fassel? How's that application look to you?
It'd be good if he was here.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, there's no conflicts. I don't see any conflicts, so is everything in order? Does it look like everything's
I
in order?
mean, it's a single item,
Right,
and they're gonna use it for the sake of the lights, I take it.
yeah, it doesn't look like they're gonna use anything else.
Didn't he say he was going to use the restaurants?
Oh, yes.
Restaurants, yes. He
Okay.
didn't mark it on there, but he did send an email to Mark.
Did he clear that with you, Mark? Is he all set?
I don't have jurisdiction on the restrooms. So I notified you,
Oh,
Yeah.
and I would assume that Mr. Frankie, whoever's gonna fill in for him will make sure that those are open.
Mhm.
oh, okay, so,
Yeah, with COVID gone, I don't have jurisdiction on the restrooms,
Oh.
only concessions,
so that's changed?
only concessions now.
Oh, cause, okay, changes so fast.
Yeah, we can't keep track.
Wow, okay,
And there will be no concessions, so he's fine.
okay, good.
From us, from the board.
I think that's, we have to recognize as a board that we did not exist until this very night.
Yeah,
So we have to be a little more generous in what we expect people to do to get an application. The big thing would be to say that there'd be no concessions, is that what you're,
No. He's not, there's not going to be a concession
Right, that's what it says.
by him.
right, that's what I was indicating. With that in mind, when we say that's a special condition, I think we can give him the right for this one. In the meantime, this would be done earlier or a little more detailed. I think we ought to be, user-friendly and allow them to do it this one night. And just make the comment that no concessions should be
Okay.
should be used.
We just have to get the proper signatures on this, and we also.
So I think we have to make a motion to accept it.
Make a motion, to accept the application.
Accept, what did you accept?
Kim makes the motion,
Now second,
and Jim seconds it, all in favor?
aye.
Unanimous. Okay. Yeah. And on a new business, we have another town facilities request form from Hoosick Valley Football.
And we do have Molly on board with us.
Hi, Molly.
Hi.
So yeah, requesting, we got our schedules, the end of May, beginning of June. So we're just requesting, the first 3, we were able to secure some home games. So looking for the first 3 Friday, or excuse me, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th to host home football games, down at Renfrew. And then we'll switch to Hoosick Valley High School for October. So that way we can kind of have a nice fall Friday night lights kind of a thing, for the fall, and then switch back to Hoosick Valley for October. I did put on the application, obviously depending on where we are, as athletic director, I'm thinking that we should have a pretty good football team this year. And so making it into the postseason and having a good playoff game, I would open it up just to the possibility that they might want to use it in late October, beginning of November for a first round playoff game. But again, depending on where things go with our football season would, be determinant on that.
Right.
So it's really just September. As I had emailed Mark, I'm not sure who the head of the booster club is. That stuff usually doesn't get going until August. I'm guessing that they would probably want to use the concession stand, just to sell stuff now that COVID restrictions have been lifted. But I did tell Mark that once that booster club gets up and running, I can share that information and then maybe pop back in the August meeting with an update if needed.
You're all set on that?
So just to emphasize that it's not me personally requiring it,
Right.
or just, our Board of Health requiring it. It is a state mandate and a state regulation. I'm charged with enforcing the mandate and the regulation. So I would just ask the board not to approve the facilities use request until we can determine who's in charge of the booster club and whether or not they're going to have a concession. So if you could table it until August, that would be appreciated.
Did you hear that, Molly?
Well, I did, but that kind of puts us into a precarious situation only because the Pioneer Valley already has all of their schedules done and into the MIA stuff, and I've got to start to get officials. If it means no concession stand, I guess we wouldn't use the concession stand. But just in terms of a time crunch, that scares me a little bit. Having to switch things last minute. With the schools from out of the county.
Why would you want to postpone it for another month?
To give the booster club the opportunity to contact me to see which permits they'll need.
So we can.
What
give
are
them-
the permits? Because we would not be asking for any alcohol or beverage in that capacity. Obviously it's a high school event, but Usually when we've used the concession stand at Renfrew, it's just been that front, just the concession stand, and we bring our own food. I don't even think we use the refrigerator.
So is everything prepackaged or do they prepare hamburgers or hot dogs?
I mean, well, obviously we didn't have football last year because of COVID, we couldn't have a concession stand. But yeah, 2 years ago, they would have sold hamburgers and hot dogs.
Okay, so that's a food service permit. So that's one permit. If they're just going to sell prepackaged, that's retail.
Okay,
So depending on what they're doing for food service and sales, depends on the type of permit that they need to apply for. And as I told Molly, for these types of events, we do waive the fee. So there's no cost to the Booster Club to do this.
I see.
So all they have to do is contact us. They have to have, if they're going to do food service, they have to have a food service manager, someone who has taken the Serve Safe course, in allergen awareness. That's a little more stricter than obviously the retail food, which is just selling prepackaged foods and beverages.
Right.
We can give them that permit with the condition that they have to go through that process.
I was just gonna suggest that. Is that okay by you?
Sure.
Okay.
Just so long as you're prepared that if I show up there, they don't have their permits, I can shut the concession down.
Did you hear that, Molly?
yeah, no, I heard that, and again, we have a great group of parents that manage our booster clubs for all of our sports, so I can't imagine that they would do anything to put that in jeopardy.
Okay.
We're not certainly looking to do anything that's going to put anybody in jeopardy.
So we can give them the right to use Renfrew
On that condition.
on that condition.
At the
There's
kingdom.
one other thing that
Necessary.
we have brought into account that while Molly's still here, since Huzik is using our fields exclusively for 3 games, we kind of open the idea of a potential Sunday football games be dedicated to the junior football at Hoosick Valley. Would you be able to host, since we're hosting you for 3 games, and we're not asking for anything, and we're going through it, could your school and your facility host a Sunday junior football program up at Hoosick Valley?
Is that just one? So I did see that on the agenda when I looked earlier today, and this is the first time that I've heard about it. So I mean, obviously, the building use that goes through our principal, Colleen Bird. I don't think that she would have a problem with that. Is it every Sunday or is it?
You're going to have, you've got both of your bathrooms are mobile ones. So you're not going to need the school for that.
Right.
You're just going to, and we could limit the food. You're in Cheshire too.
Right.
That gives you a different perspective. You're not in charge of the Cheshire.
No.
So we can say the heck with him, because it's Cheshire.
So, but I guess I'm just looking for clarification. Are you looking for every Sunday for us to host? Or is it-
One Sunday,
Oh, just one?
you got 3.
Games.
We're just asking for one Sunday where all of our junior football is gonna be held up at Hoosick Valley. One Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I think that the only thing that I would request is that Sunday be in conjunction with one of our home games, just because that way, in terms of field lining, the field will already be lined because we would have played on a Saturday. So it just makes more sense to host a youth game on a Sunday when everything is already out, the football equipment is out.
Your group typically lines it every week anyways. I'm up at Hoosick Valley, I walk the track, so that the lines will be there. We were not asking for a great amount.
Yeah.
If we just had, the bottom line is, we kind of like to show off Hoosick Valley football at its facility.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great idea, and I think that that demonstrates the collaboration that we're looking for, you know, in terms of the athletic department. But I do, the only caveat and why I said that is we had to hire out. So we lost 2 maintenance staff this year, and with all of the COVID restrictions for the school, we just were we were strapped, and so we actually had to hire out to do all of our field mowing and field lining. I'm not sure what that looks like this year. I'm not sure if we've hired staff.
It's the same game dimension as a regular football game.
Yeah, no, I know, but what I'm saying is that if we use Renfrew on Fridays, our football field at the high school won't be lined. So I don't know if I can justify having to use our.
Are you saying that you won't be lined? You're not going to be required to line down to Renfrew. When you come in Renfrew and play your 3 games, are you going to be lining with your people? Or is the school or is the town going to do it? And I'm pretty sure the town's going to do it.
I think that the town is going to do it, but what I'm saying is that I'm happy to host youth football. I just would like it for it to be in a weekend when our field is already lined, so that way nobody has to do any extra work. I just think that it makes more sense that way, so that we're not adding another piece to the puzzle there. So if in October, like, you know, for example, on the 10th, you know, or like the 24th, you know, we could host that Sunday.
The 10th.
The 10th, yeah, like that would, actually that would actually work really well, because we're going to do kind of an alumni weekend for Columbus Day weekend, and that would actually be kind of cool to have the youth football group up at Hoosick on October 10th.
And we could do it the 10th of October. We could get that date down tonight. And then you would know that would be lined already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and I think that makes sense. And actually, like I said, if we're gonna hope to use that Columbus Day weekend as an alumni weekend as well, because a lot of folks usually come back for like the downtown Adams stuff, then that kind of makes sense. And then we can incorporate the youth football into our own. We're gonna have a bonfire that weekend and do some alumni events, so that actually works out nicely.
Just want to be sure you understand, we're trying to advertise Hoosick Valley facilities and Hoosick Valley football for doing this. And I would hope that you'd be cooperative enough to say, we can do it if we're not interfering with the lining procedure,
Yeah,
which
no,
it sounds like it's already gonna be done.
yeah, I think
Sounds like
that,
you're already gonna have it lined that day before.
Yep.
So that it'll be the same. And obvious, Molly, if it's raining, we're not gonna be up there. That can be postponed or even canceled.
Yeah, no. I think that works out nicely.
Good, that's what I wanted to hear. Okay, so we're gonna have a motion to first to accept here are 3 games. Right?
Yeah, with the understanding that the
Condition of obtaining.
obtaining the permits.
Yep.
Right? Okay. There's a motion on the floor.
Motion to approve?
Okay. A second, anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. There you go, Molly.
Okay, thank you.
Now,
So,
the second one would be a motion to have a Sunday football game dedicated to junior football at Hoosier Valley High School on October tenth, is it, Molly?
Yeah, yep, because we play Frontier home on the 9th, so October 10th works out nicely.
Make a motion, we have our October tenth game up at Hoosier Valley. There'll be 3 games, it'll be the young, middle, and the junior.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor.
We need a second.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you, I think it's gonna work out great.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I mean, we're really hoping to do more with the athletic department in the communities of Cheshire and Adams, just to kind of raise some awareness, work on our enrollment, and just build stronger connections with our kids and families. So
Absolutely.
Because you've taken away those 3 games that you don't have to play at Hoosier. The Hoosier Valley field is gonna be unused for quite a bit, and it could take that pressure.
yeah, no, I think that will be fine.
Yeah.
I will have the head football coach get in touch with the parents to try to see if they can.
Do you know who it is, the head football coach?
Is Mike Bostwick.
Okay,
Yep, he was our coach last year. He's coming back again. Yep.
no, I know who he is, I just,
Oh, okay.
because there were 2 or 3 applicants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I can get in touch with him and start the process for those permits, Mark.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Mr. Legest will have something to do with it too.
Yeah, yep, yeah, once we get everything done, and I still need to try to request a soccer night game for our boys and girls. We're actually working with McCann to try to do a game at Renfrew under the lights with McCann, because we thought that would be a good community builder too.
Yeah.
So I have to get those dates together and into Michelle.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, thank you.
Next item on the agenda, discuss status of tennis courts at Russell Field.
You been down there? You gotta,
Yes.
everybody's gotta go down there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Looks nice.
It's really coming along.
Yeah.
Things are slow. They don't have the tennis,
It's not ready to
nets
be used yet.
up yet, but they have it all lined up.
Mhm.
For pickleball and for, pickleball is a coming.
It is, yeah, big now.
Do we have any idea when they'll be available for use? The tennis courts, pickleball courts?
I think everything's coming now, but I don't know.
We don't have a date, concrete date.
I think,
I'm not aware. The last I knew was painted and we're waiting on the lines, but you're just saying that the lines are now in.
the lines are in.
Yeah.
Now we need, all we need now is the tennis. Becky Ferguson, why don't we make that? Then we should contact Becky Ferguson for an update of what's next, of the progress of, or what would you say, timeline for the.
Yeah.
I mean, they've indicated they don't want to use the field again that whole fall. And if you go down and look at it, it needs fertilization.
I was there last week. Grass is coming in
I
nice.
go there too. Every one of us should go down and look at it. And you'll see what's been done and what needs to be done. And if you think that we're gonna be interfering with the softball program, you come up to the high school and look, and that softball infield hasn't been used in a month, so they've been out of town. They can find a way, and of course, they've got, for the young kids, they've got down the Reed Field.
That's the next item. Discuss fall softball schedule at Reed Field.
Right. We're gonna be going over that.
Yeah. we went over to tennis court, lines, pickleball, went into, kind of did D and E together.
Yeah, that was because we didn't know the lines were in yet. Now they're in.
The general public, pickleball is an upcoming sport. It's like tennis, but it's like badminton with a
Like a
ball,
little wiffle ball type
with a
thing.
pickleball.
Well, yes, but it's like a plastic wiffle ball, just a little different, yeah,
Smaller size, yeah.
smaller size.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to look it up. I'm like, what is pickleball?
Everybody's going crazy over it because it's quick, intense. You know. Okay, well, keep on going.
Yeah, discuss softball schedule at Reed Field.
Have we got anything with the Reed Field?
We don't have anything yet.
Ooh.
No applications.
We'll just make the statement of what we've had in here, and we might have a written list of when they're gonna need it done ahead of time.
Right.
So who contacts these sports teams for this? To get their app-
Steve, I'm sorry,
To get the applications and to get the ball rolling?
yeah,
Who does that?
yeah. I think when you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror,
Who used to do it?
But I need contact information. I have no idea.
Yeah.
they gotta give you the contact.
Who's
Who
they?
would, yeah.
I'll get it.
Oh, good, thanks. Thank you.
And just for a matter of fact, the admission is people coming into a game, the games are open to the general public. As I understand it, and then if you've not had your shots, you're supposed to wear a mask.
We haven't adopted that. That's a recommendation, but locally, we have not adopted that. If any leagues, state organization, requires that, that's up to them to enforce. We don't do that. Second is, I think so, softball or soccer, one of the two still has that recommendation, so that's up to them to enforce, not us.
In us, you're talking about us.
Us,
Now
now,
you-
me, the individual.
Yeah, no,
Right,
I don't mean that, I mean, we're on the same team now, right?
right.
Right.
Well, we're on the same team.
We never knew it at times.
Okay. Next item is for the good of the order.
I'd like to reach, what do we come out of that discussion as a result? Nicole,
Michelle,
Michelle, Mary,
what did we get out of that discussion?
yeah,
Get your applications in?
okay,
That one?
yeah.
We want them now, so we don't have to wait till the last minute. That's what I get out of that.
Good,
Yeah.
we've been bouncing around, so. Okay,
Okay. Now, for the good of the order, Jim, you have anything?
I'm just happy we're together. You know, as a group, you find out we are going to have a role. It's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be. If you're gonna be recommending, and if they don't like what you recommend, they're gonna do it over your head. But at least we can do some recommending. Sure. And I think we have a strong role. So it's us instead of him and me or him and us, whatever.
It's a group effort. That's what I think.
Yeah. And we should use Steve Skarkey well as much as we can.
Gonna have
to
to.
be. Yeah, I mean, you can tell Steve that he ran the meeting. He may have been out west visiting, but he ran the meeting. He's an important part of our group.
Yes, he made sure that I took notes on what he wanted to share. so.
Hurry.
Okay, Kayla, you have anything? Scott?
I don't either.
All right, I just want to mention, I know the Board of Health and Mark did an update on that, the dog, the
Regulation.
dog regulations, which I believe you did the right thing. Because you took away the parks part of it and you put in the fields. And I think that's what we wanted in the first place.
Mhm.
That's why when we first took a vote on it, we didn't vote in favor, I believe, because it included the parks. We didn't want that. It was too broad. Now you listed the fields, which is great. You don't want people cutting the lawns and walking and dog out there on the playing fields, which is great. I kind of agree with what happened.
Right, if you listen to the joint Board of Health and Board of Selectmen meeting.
Yes,
It was our take that they wanted the entire park
right.
included. But it is what it is. It goes to effect Wednesday. It should have been posted on the website at the end of today. If it's not there, it'll be on the website tomorrow.
Okay, so that's for the public to know that,
Yeah.
there's
I'm
gonna
waiting
be a
on
fine.
signatures before that gets posted.
That's right, that's why,
Waiting on.
just for the playing fields.
That means that they could bring dogs up to it.
But if they poop on the field, you're
Right,
the other
right,
side.
no, I understand
They
that,
get caught.
and it is a good distinction, because you can bring a dog,
To the
I
park.
got little puppy dogs.
Right.
And they can bring them in the park itself, but not
On the field.
Right, it's like Valley Street, that's all athletic field.
It's all field, that's all you can do there.
And it's also at games and practices.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah, so that was good. I agree with that.
I'd like to know, your name and your role here.
Hi, my name's Greg. I'm a reporter at Berkshire's.
Okay.
Sorry if I just randomly.
I know who he was, because he's been to other meetings, but usually he was virtual before, so you hadn't seen him.
Right.
He was behind the scenes before.
Oh, nice to see you here. Thanks for coming.
It's the only way we get any kind of publicity out to the public.
Very good.
It's through Live Berkshire, so
Okay.
always welcome.
Next item we have scheduled next meeting date. Now, it's got on here August 9th, but I'm gonna make a suggestion. Is it possible to take a summer vacation, take 1 month off? Let Michelle catch up on, because I noticed she was behind a little bit. She's trying to catch up on her work. She got extra work added on. Because she's doing extra, trying to get caught up.
You know what I'd like to do is to still have the meeting, and we can meet together for a quorum and see what's for the good of the order, and then call it off. Rather than, there's always gonna be something coming up that we might need to do.
Which you have to put together an agenda and do the minutes and so forth.
Yes, yes, and yes. The only other concern I have about that is if we have any applications that come in between now and then. Too. So that could cause an issue if we do take some time off.
Just a suggestion, okay.
I know, it was a great suggestion. I thank you. I
You
thank you.
being the chairman can make an executive decision if nothing's to be said. At the meeting that we're going to have, you could postpone it yourself.
Good idea. Okay, so for now, we will schedule the meeting for August.
Right,
And if there's no applications,
If it can happen, we can cancel it, so.
okay, and you can always get a hold, you can get a hold of Jim and let him know if,
yeah, you're just gonna have to call me up,
okay. That'll give us a summer vacation.
I'm usually next to the phone.
Okay, so we'll schedule for August 9th, 5 PM still?
Yeah,
Yes?
and that's clearly for Michelle's point of view,
The 5 o'clock,
yeah,
I really appreciate it, only because our hours just changed again to closing the offices at 4 on Mondays. So I still have a layover, but at least now it's not 2-hour layover.
Yeah.
We did it at 6 o'clock, so
Okay, so 5 is good.
5 is
All
fine.
right, we'll keep it at 5. All right,
I make a motion, we adjourn till then.
motion to adjourn by Jim. Here a second? Second by Scott, all in favor to adjourn? Yeah,
Everybody go around,
Unanimous.
go make yourself
Thank you.
familiar with the different parks and what activities are.
I'm going to take a drive up to Russell.